Hello everyone, it's Carrie from Inky Bee Journals and Ephemera. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, hello and welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So today we are doing part 4 of the Shabby Pink Roses journal, and today I thought we would look at doing envelope double pockets. Now I'll get to that in just a moment. If you haven't seen part 1, 2 and 3 of this series so far and you would like to, you can find them in the playlist titled Junk Journal Tutorials. And I will put a link in the description box below if you would like to go and check those out. This video today will also be in the playlist titled Ephemera Ideas, because this does come under the heading of ephemera, or at least something to hold ephemera in. So I will add this video and anything that sort of falls under that heading for this series, and any other journals or any other videos that I make that fall under that heading will go into that playlist titled Ephemera Ideas. I will also link that in the description box below for you if you are interested. Okay, so in the first video for this journal, we made this fabric cover, and in part 2 we made the signatures, and I have 4 signatures here. So we put these together, and in part 3 we made envelope side tucks. So here's an example of one of those envelope side tucks. It's basically an envelope, but it's been opened at the bottom and sealed at the top, and that goes into the signature, and that will be stitched into the signature so that this becomes a side tuck and the other side becomes a pocket. So we are up to part 4, and today we will be making these envelope double pockets. So essentially what they are is yet another type of envelope, and we will stick them down on the page, and I'll just give you an example here. So we will stick them down on a page. This flap here opens, we have a pocket in here, and then if we are only gluing on 3 sides here and we glue that down, we then have a pocket at the top as well, a top loading pocket. So that's what we'll be making today. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so these envelopes come as a digital. They are a set which is designed by Blossom Paper Art, and I will put a link in the description box below for this digital kit and for Blossom Paper Art Etsy store. And there is several different envelope kits that you can choose from, so I will put a link in the description box for you if you are interested in those. So I need 8 of them. I've done 6 and I've already put the rest of them in the signatures so far, but I need to do 2 more, and so I have 2 more digital envelopes printed off, and we will put those together today. So the first thing we need to do is print them off on Well, it's up to you what you print them on, but I wanted something a little bit thicker than my average 80 GSM printer paper, because I wanted something that had just a little bit more sturdiness than the thin 80 GSM paper. You could go a little bit thicker into a cardstock if you want to. My paper is actually 120 GSM, so it's not too thick, but it's not too thin either. And this is like a almost a photo paper. It's slightly glossy, so it's up to you what you print yours on. So all we need to do is get a pair of scissors and cut these shapes out. Now when I printed mine, you will see that it has these flat edges here, and the simple reason for that is my printer does not allow me to print borderless. My printer also does not seem to allow me to print everything, or give me the printer options for everything to adjust the percentage in which it's printed at. I find it depends, for my computer at least, it depends how the digitals have been created and how they've been sent as a download or an upload or whatever you call it to my computer, because sometimes I can adjust them and sometimes I can't. In this case I have not been able to, but that doesn't matter, because I'm still going to just cut this in a way that it would still be slightly rounded there, but it's just not going to be completely rounded. But you will see when we put this together that it really doesn't matter, because they are still going to work perfectly fine. If you can print them so that they do have the rounded edge, then you can do that. I think these were initially designed for the American sort of standard, I think they call it letterhead paper, but here in Australia we use the A4 size, so I wasn't able to adjust it enough, but it's still going to work. Okay, so we're just going to cut this shape out in one complete piece. For those of you who might be new to the channel and you're not quite sure if you can hear a sound in the background, you may hear a whirring sound in the background. I do have my air conditioner going in the room, and it is in quite close proximity to my table, because we do have winter here at the moment, and it is quite cold of the last few days, and well, it's been quite cold this year so far. For this time of year, and so I need to have it going so that I can stay warm. So I do hope the sound of it in the background is not too distracting for you. Now, if you manage to be lucky enough to have one of those Cricut machines that allows you to print something out and then have it cut out for you, by all means go ahead and use that option. If it is available to you, it would make your life a lot easier and you would get this job done much quicker. But I am unable to have one of those, so I do it this way. Good old scissors. So all you need to do is just cut along that edge. You don't need to cut yourself a wider border at all. Just cut the image out right up against the edge of the image. So then we can discard all of these pieces, and we are left, just remove this one for a moment, and we are left with our shape. Now, you will find that there is very, very, very faint lines within this design in all the areas in which you need to fold. So you can go to a scoreboard and put them in your scoreboard and fold them if you like. For those who don't have a scoreboard, all you need to do is turn it over to the back side. Now, I have actually printed the other side of this paper with a tea dye colour. It might be a little bit hard to see in the camera because of the artificial lights, but there is a colour printed on here because you can see the white edges, so you know it's got a colour on there. And all I'm going to do is fold these side pieces over, and you fold them so that where you've got this little, where you've got the, turn it over, you've got this edge here is actually your top flap, and then you've got your side flaps, so they would fold in like that. So that's what we need to do. So we get where you've got your circle starting here is you put a tiny little fold there, and I usually just pinch it, and then you do the same at this end where it meets this slightly angled line here, and I just crease there, and then you can usually go along and crease the rest of that across like that. Now, if you have a bone folder, now would be a good time to run over that crease with your bone folder. And I will put a link in the description box below for anyone who might be interested in this ergonomic bone folder. It comes in a set of, I think, 4 different types of bone folders. So I will put a link in the description box if you are interested in that. And then we do this other side the same way, making sure that we are folding towards the inside, and then we go over that fold with the bone folder to burnish that fold. So it should look like that. So the next thing we need to do is fold the top and the bottom. They also need to fold to the inside. So I usually start with the bottom, and you fold this up right into that corner there where it meets the side flaps. Now, you might want to try using a ruler. If you find that helpful, by all means, use that option. Again, you can use a scoreboard if you like, if you think it might be helpful for you. And you just want to try and fold that nice and straight, or as straight as you can manage. So it should look like that, and I'm just going to run over that fold with my bone folder again. And that's virtually your main envelope part done. We just need to fold down the top flap. So we can do the same thing, we can just fold it where it meets the side edges here. And do the other side. Just put a little pinch crease, and then you should be able to fold that reasonably flat all the way along. And then again, just run over that fold with your bone folder. So there we have the envelope folded. So all we need to do is unfold here and run a bead of glue down each of these sides, and then fold it up and stick them down. So I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. I just have it in this little bottle so I can see how much I have left. This is the glue that I'm using, the art glitter glue. It dries clear. It does have a water base in it, but it is not a really heavy water base. So it does not affect your paper, which is what we don't want. We don't want something that is going to have so much water in it that it's going to seep through your paper and actually cause it to tear or wrinkle. But you might want to find something that dries clear so that if there is a little bit of seepage, it's not going to look out of place. Of course, you don't have to use art glitter glue. There are many other types of glue out there that you can use, but it's just my suggestion to find something that you find is suitable for what you're looking for. In this case, you want something that bonds paper well and something that doesn't have too high of a water content in it. This is a pretty popular type one for a lot of paper crafters to use, but it's not the only one on the market. But I will put a link in the description box below if you are interested in this one. So I'm just going to take my pin out and make sure that my glue is flowing, which it is. And I'm just going to run a little bit of glue down this edge, and I'm not going to go all the way to the top because it is angled at the top. So I'm not going to go all the way to the top. And then I'm just going to fold up and I'm just going to press that down, and I'm going to use my bone folder just to go over that glue. Try to make sure you're not gluing within the area that you are going to slide things into. And just burnish that glue in. Make sure you've got a good stick. Now I'm just going to put the pin back in my glue. Now I am using these pins are actually, they look like a sewing pin, but they are actually stainless steel pins, which means they will not rust when they are in your bottle, because you don't want rust getting into your glue. Normal sewing pins will work temporarily, but they will rust if you leave them in there all the time. So we have this one done. Now we'll do the second one. So we'll cut this out. Now, if you are having a little bit of trouble being able to cut things out that have a rounded edge to it, like this little rounded corner here or these rounded areas, there is a little bit of a trick that took me a little while to get the hang of, and that is when you are cutting around them, we have a tendency to try and move the scissors around that corner. But the best thing you can do is hold your scissors in the one spot where you can and move your paper instead of your scissors. It doesn't work for everybody, but if you are having a little bit of trouble being able to get those cuts as neat as you would like. So I'm keeping my scissors in one place and I'm just moving the paper. That just helps to cut those angles a little bit easier, or those rounded shapes. almost there. All right, so I think we've got that done now. We can get rid of these pieces and we can fold this one. So once again, we can fold it over, turn it over to so that the back side is facing up. We can fold this side right up to the start of where this rounds, and we can pinch that there. And then we can fold the other side right up to where this angle cut here is. And pinch that, and then we can fold right the way across. Burnish that down with the bone folder and do the same on the other side. Pinch that down. Now we can do the bottom the same way. So we just bring the bottom up to where this little fold here is. And then we can do this side. And then we can fold it in the center. Way across, and then we can burnish that down with the bone folder, and then we can do the same with the top. We can bring the fold down to where the top of these side flaps are. We can pinch in each corner. And then we can fold it in the center all the way across. And then we can burnish that down. So there we have another one. Now I've actually done this a little bit crookedly, haven't I? That's okay. We can fix this. There you go. So there's the second one done, and all we need to do is glue these sides. Remembering not to go right up to the very tip, because you don't want to run the risk of glue getting here in under this flap, because it is rounded here. We don't want to glue that little area down, because these flaps are the gussets in our envelope, and we don't want things getting caught. And we don't go all the way up to the rounded part, because again, we don't want glue in this area here, because this is where your ephemera and things will go into, and we don't want to block that up with glue. And then we just get our bone folder and just make sure we are smushing that glue down, getting good contact with the paper, and we haven't stuck anything down where we don't want to stick down, so we can easily put something in the pocket here. So we have our last two envelopes made. Now, this aside and this aside for now. And here's what we're going to do with them. So we're calling these envelope double pockets because when we glue these down, we will glue them down on 3 sides and then we'll place them down so that when we open this flap up here, we have a side tuck in here, and we will also have a top loading pocket here. So I'm putting 2 in each of these 4 signatures, so I've got 8 of these envelope pockets ready to go. So again, I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to glue down 3 sides. And I'm going to try and keep the glue close to the edge because we want to keep as much of the real estate in the center here free of glue so that we have plenty of room to put our tag and what have you else into this top loading pocket. Whenever you are gluing something down to be a pocket or a side tuck, remember that it pays to have a glue that has some strength to it, because when I say strength, I mean good stick, because it's going to have a little bit of a going when you put things in and out. So it may want to attempt to come up if you have a glue that is not real strong. So again, this art glitter glue is an example of a glue that I have found that seems to work well for this. You might find something like Barely Arts glue. You might find a good school glue, PVA type glue that works. Again, I would suggest something that is not high water content, just in case it does tear easily and you don't want to damage your pages and you don't want to damage your work. So there's one pocket ready to go. So we have our pocket in here and we have our pocket in the top for a tag or piece of paper to write on, or whatever it is you'd like to put in that space. So there's one, and I may or may not decorate these up a little bit more as we go, or as I go to do the final sort of things in, here we go, when I go to do the final things in these pages for decorating, I may choose to decorate these up a little bit more. So I will put this one here, and you can choose if you want to turn them around so that they open this way. That might depend which pocket you'd like to put them on, but I'm putting mine this way. And I'm going to put it, I'm not putting it all the way down at the bottom. You can put it right to the side if you like. You can put it right to the left, or if you don't want to use it as a pocket at the top, you can put it all the way at the top if you want to. But I'm going to put it towards the bottom, but not all the way to the very bottom. This page is not quite where I want it, so bear with me for just a moment. I will need to sort these pages out before I go ahead and stitch them in to make sure that they're all where they need to be. But I'm going to stick this down in the center, but down just a little bit, so that it's not right at the bottom of the page, but it's not all the way at the top. And this is just simply so that I am leaving space at the top for something to go in there. So I will put some glue along the edges. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you're all enjoying whatever type of season you are having in your area. I'm not a great fan of the winter months as in my area, because even though we don't actually get snow, we do get very cold here. It's not my most favourite. I prefer to be a summer girl. But all seasons have their benefits, so as long as I can stay warm, I'm right. Okay, so now I'm just going to press that glue in. And there we go. So that's the second one done for the first signature. So go through these pages till I find the next one. Here we go. So that will go there. This is a good way to dress up some plain pages, because this is just a coffee dyed paper. It's very plain. So I am just going to dress it up by putting one of these on there, because it's got just enough colour to give it a little bit of something. So I have my dad coming tomorrow, and we are going to go and have a look at a house that my dad is considering buying, which is only a few minutes from where I am living. So if he does get that house, it will be within walking distance. So that will be nice. And again, I'm going to place that towards the bottom in the center, but not all the way at the bottom, but close. I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, just so that I'm leaving room for a top loading pocket or a tag or something else to go in there. See if we can find the other one. Here we go. And that will go there. These pages are moving around, but they'll all be sorted out and put back in place before I go ahead and stitch everything together. So I'll just run a bead of glue down 3 sides. If you are interested in these stainless steel glue pins, I will try to put a link in the description box for you if you are interested in finding some for yourself. So you don't go rusting out all of your sewing pins and all of your glue. There's 2 for the second signature. Now we'll find the 2 for the third signature. Here we go. Shall I put it on this side? I might do that this time. Put this one on this side. That will be okay. Just glue that down roughly in the center, about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom, so that there's room at the top for a tag to go in. Go over that with the bone folder. And then we'll find the second one, which is there. Fold this up and we'll put this one on. Of course, if you didn't want to glue yours down, you can always just clip it to the side of the page so that you can take it out and move it around if you want to. You don't have to turn them all into these types of pockets if you don't want to. So there's the second one for the third signature. So we have a fourth signature here, and we have 2 more pockets to add. So we'll find a page in here. So we might put one there. Oh, no, we want to put it the other way. Good save there, Carrie. Burnish down that glue, and then we'll flip to the other side, and we'll find a spot for the last one. Now I'm not following any rhyme or reason as to where I'm putting them, I'm just randomly selecting somewhere, and I'll put that last one there. Now that's far too much glue, so I'm just going to wipe that off, and we'll do that again. Sometimes this glue comes out far too quickly. Better. I'll put the pin back in my glue. Use the bone folder to burnish down that glue. And there you have it. That's all of them put in. So far we have 4 signatures with envelope side tucks, and now they have these double pockets. So they will all be bound together directly into, stitched together directly into the cover here. And so that is where we're up to. So in the next video we will be making another type of ephemera insert, I suppose, ephemera holder, if that's what you want to call it, and we will be making these, and these started off as a book page, and they are just folded so that they are a side tuck here, and they go onto your page this way. So imagine this is my page. So they go on like this. So you have a side tuck here, and when you flip it over, you have a side tuck here, and when you flip it open, this is the wrong way around. So, and you can tell by how I put the paper on, but this side is a side tuck, and when you flip it over, you have a side pocket here, and when you flip it out, you have a pocket here. So we'll be making those next time, just as a little snippet for what to expect. So I'll leave the video there for now. I hope you are liking this series so far. If you did like this video and you are enjoying this series, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that when I put a new video out, YouTube can send you a notification. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day. Please stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.